And joining us now, both on the air and via video at supertalk.fm/watch, Darwin Nelson, the mayor of the city of Lucedale, Mississippi. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Bernard. It's great to be with you guys.
Great to be with you as well. So tell us about your fame, I guess, as a songwriter, a mayor and a songwriter.
Yeah, I'm kind of one of those multitaskers. I do way too much stuff, and unfortunately, I'm probably more passionate about golf than anything, and I can't seem to break 80 anymore. But anyway, that's beside
understand.
Yes, I'm very passionate about songwriting, and been privileged enough to be a member of the board of the Mississippi Songwriters Festival since 2010. And I got a good buddy, George Cumbus, down in Jackson County. And he gathered a bunch of us together back about 2009 and said, "You're all going to be on this board, and we're going to have a Songwriters Festival." And there's myself and George, Andy Dalgo, Scott Stratner, Kevin Westbrook, and others. And we work, Daniel Westfall, we work our tails off every year. We've seen people come and go, but we celebrated our 10th anniversary last year, and obviously we're looking forward to starting a new decade this year. It just hadn't quite worked out like we planned.
So how long has this Hall of Fame been around?
We were kind of looking for something to kind of up our game on our 10th anniversary last year. And we came up with the idea. We inducted Paul Overstreet, Van Cleve's own Paul Overstreet, into the Hall of Fame last year. We also gave a Founders Award to our good buddy Tommy Barnes, who we're inducting full-fledged into the Hall of Fame this year. And we had a lot of dignitaries gathered last year at the Mary C and had a really nice ceremony. And we just plan on this thing getting bigger and better every year as far as our Hall of Fame goes.
Well, it's certainly true that Mississippi is abundantly blessed with quality songwriters. I mean,
Right.
why do you think that is, Darwin? Why do we have so many artists that are so talented in that regard in Mississippi?
You know, I guess it's something per capita. I mean, you can go back to the days of the mid 1800s, and you talk about great writers, and we had more great writers per capita than any place you could think of on earth.
Sure.
And that's been the thing with songwriters too. I don't know what it is. It makes us creative compared to other areas, but there's something in the water, I guess, as they say.
And it's across the genre of music.
Absolutely. That's right. I mean, you look at the diversity of the people we're inducting tonight into the Hall of Fame. You know, you don't get as much opposite end of the spectrums from B.B. King to Jimmy Buffett, you know.
Right.
And then you got McAnally and Tommy Barnes somewhere in between there. So,
Right.
Yes, it's very diverse. And I'd be remiss, Bernard, if I didn't mention our good buddy, Reggie Bates, who we're inducting tonight in the contributor category. I don't know if you know Reggie. Reggie ran Clear Channel Radio, K99 for years and years. And he was on our board up until obviously the first part of August. He passed away due to COVID-19. And just a tremendous contributor to songwriting on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. He was a valuable member of our board, so we're honoring him. And a great songwriter, too.
Yeah.
So we're honoring him tonight as well.
And so tell us about tonight's event. It is induction of new members into the Hall? Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes, exactly. We just decided to do it virtual this year.
Okay, so you're doing it virtual, consistent with so many other events during the COVID era. Yeah. Where do you normally have it when you do it live in person?
We normally are centered right there in the middle of Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Gaucher, we've had a few venues in Gaucher and Moss Point and Biloxi as well. But for the most part, 90% of our festival takes place right in the heart of downtown Ocean Springs. They've been the city of Ocean Springs, Mary Dobbs and the Alderman, they've been a great partner with us the last several years. And our festival is venue driven, and we require a commitment from those venues, from those restaurants, those bars on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And we just didn't feel like we could do that safely this year. With many of them hurting financially as well, we didn't feel it was, a good thing to put that burden on this year. So like a lot of other things that the wayside in 2020, and we'll pick it back up next year.
Yeah, exactly. So, how do you go from songwriter to mayor? What piques your interest in politics?
That's a great question. I actually taught school and coached for 28 years and retired from George County in 2015. And my wife and I, we were right in the middle of songwriting. As a matter of fact, we cut an album back in 2016 with our buddy Keith Sykes out of Memphis, Tennessee. And we were traveling basically from Florida to Texas playing music. And then in 2017, I had a former mayor, Dr. Dayton Whites, here in Lucedale, approach me about running for mayor. And I'll be dang if I didn't fool 57% of the people. So
that's awesome. So,
but, I still use music in my role as mayor too, though. So.
Okay. And so the first lady of Lucedale is a songwriter as well. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely, yes. And she's a lot prettier than I am too. When I talked to Alex, I said, "Yeah, I do a lot of radio interviews, no problem." She said, "Well, this is going to be on video too," and I'm like, "I look a lot better on radio than I do video."
So, where do you like to go ahead?
Well, we play a lot of coast restaurants. We got a place out in Port Neches, Texas that we play at about every other month. Matter of fact, I talked to my buddy out there this morning that owns a restaurant in Port Neches, and we'll be there the first part of October. So hopefully things are starting to pick back up a little bit here. We try to limit the amount of spittle we produce during the show. So.
So what about the city of Lucedale, Mayor? Did you guys experience any damage from Sally?
Bernard, we really dodged a bullet, about I don't know how many of your listeners know where we are geographically. We're about 15 miles from the state line, the Alabama state line, and puts us, as a crow flies, about somewhere between 20 and 25 miles from Mobile. So Monday, they had this thing projected coming in about Gulfport. Well, New Orleans, then Gulfport, then it started moving to the east. At one time, the eye was going to be going right up the state line, which is just a few miles from us. So obviously it kept moving east. We got some good buddies over in Orange Beach, Benito Key. I got a brother near Destin that got a foot of water in his house. But we had the wind effects. We had a lot of limbs down, but very minimal amount of rain because we were on the east side of the storm, and thank the Lord for that.
Yeah. Yeah, because, golly, up until it seems like just prior to landfall, it looks like it was taking dead aim at certainly just south of where you are, and then just moving straight up the line there. So we were definitely fortunate. And so where do you like to play golf?
Well, my son is actually the pro out at Wind Dance in Gulfport.
Oh, yeah.
Owned by Island View, and I get over there a pretty good bit, and I play down at Whispering Pines Golf Club in Jackson County as well. Our little country club here in Lucedale shut down in 2009, so we have to travel a little bit, but I'm always up for that task. So this is a part-time job, so I try to get stuff done in the morning and play golf sometimes in the afternoon.
Well, Wind Dance is a lot of fun. Played there, believe it, as in the Pro-Am in the old Hogan tournament. Remember that? Back in the early 90s, used to come there. Yeah. Showing my age there. But was just there this past weekend playing at Fallen Oak this past weekend with some friends.
Funny you should mention that. I actually played Fallen Oak with McAnally back in February.
Unbelievable.
And it was a cold morning, but it was a beautiful, beautiful course. Of course, I try to go out and watch the seniors play every year, but actually getting to play it was quite a treat.
Maybe, arguably, in my view, the finest in the state, that course.
I don't see it. Well, I don't see how you could argue against that, and especially with the limited amount of play it gets, it stays in pristine condition, So.
Yeah. Absolutely. So how many are you inducting tonight into the Mississippi Songwriters Hall of Fame?
That's a great question, and we're inducting 5. Of course, Pascagoula's own Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
Belmont, Mississippi's own McAnally. Of course, they're kind of intertwined, obviously. And B.B. King from Indianola. I think most people are familiar with him. We've got a good buddy, Tommy Barnes. Tommy is originally from Tupelo. He was raised in North Alabama, but Tommy wrote Indian Outlaw for Faith Hill's husband. I can't think of his name right off the bat.
Yeah,
you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
He also got a lot of Hank Jr. hits. And Tommy has been with our festival since the beginning, and great songwriter. And then, of course, we're honoring Reggie Bates as a contributor.
Yep.
So 5 total.
Thanks for coming on, Mayor Darwin Nelson, the city of Lucedale. Great information about the Mississippi Songwriters Hall of Fame. We are blessed in Mississippi. Thank you very much, Mayor. Stay safe,
Bernard,
sir.
We'll have a link on our Facebook page and website people can click on.